Hi, I'm here to discuss truth. Following your spiritual warrior path, one of the most important things to do is to understand what truth is, what truth is to you. What's your inner truth? What is it that you believe in? What is it that you're attaining to go towards? Are you following a true path for yourself, or are you deceiving yourself or lying to yourself about what it is you want or what you're doing in your outside everyday world? We need to be trying to be honest, not just with ourselves, but with everybody else around us. It's really important to be truthful, which sometimes the truth hurts about things, so not everybody wants to hear the truth. But not truth that hurts people. Yes, I suppose we don't want to go and be spiteful truth, you know. You need to be tactful about what you're saying to people. But I wanted to do this video because I've done a few videos over this weekend, and I think it was Thursday, and I had quite a few people get in touch with me about both of them. Because inner truth and outer truth, when properly aligned, and you are living them kind of truths, creates better energies and vibrations. When we're lying, when we're being deceitful, the vibrations and energy drops and becomes, well, it's not working harmoniously, is it? When doing this kind of work, the most important thing is to be truthful to yourself and to the divine source, because then you will start being truthful with everybody else. But you will find that it will happen in a way that's, you don't just blurt out truths to hurt people, but you're saying truths that help people, other people, think and feel what they're feeling in their lives, or can begin to see truth for themselves. Because most people don't want to see what's really going on. And I'm not just talking about what's happened in the last few years, I mean in everyday life. You probably will have noticed that yourselves, of like, why does the person not see what's really happening? Because people live in imagination, or live believing that everything will just, like a Walt Disney dream, everything's going to turn out all right. Everybody's going to live happily ever after. You know, that's programming. People don't want to see what's really happening in the world. I do another example of, I know many people that won't believe or don't want to help. Well, they don't want to believe that there's people starving on the streets. People don't want to believe that people are living home, like are still homeless in this century, the 22nd century, or in the 21st, whatever year. We should not have homeless people on the streets now, you know, unless they want to be like that. You know, and having to show this to people, they then don't want to see it. You can see it. I can see it in their faces and the way they're acting, that these people don't want to see that this is going on, because it disturbs the truth of their life and their world. You know, they're living in their isolated way. But this is something that will come round in karma, and, you know, one day, hopefully, or in one lifetime, they shall wake up to see what's really going on. But I wanted to read some Steiner. And Steiner says, this is Rudolf Steiner, certain qualities that are the same in all human beings also produce the same judgments about things. The way people regard things according to measurement and number is the same for everyone. Therefore, everyone finds the same mathematical truths. So this is me speaking now. So yeah, so there's objective truths and there's subjective truths. And this is something that we need to be able to distinguish from, and then be able to work out our own inner subjective truths. Anyway, more from Steiner. But within the particular qualities by which the individual personality lifts himself from the general characteristics of his species, there also lies the basis for the individual forms which he gives to truth. The point is not whether the truth appears differently in one person than in another, but rather whether all the individual forms coming into view belong to one single whole, to the one unified ideal world. The truth speaks different languages and dialects within the inner life of individual people. In every great human being, it speaks an individual language which belongs only to this one personality. And that is very true. And doing a more of a 20th century example here, when we was younger, a young teenager, you know, you used to go looking for your love that was going to be the love of your life, you know, and you'd meet that someone, and then you start imagining how it's going to be and how perfect it's going to be when you next meet that person, and you're going to chat away, and you have imaginations, daydreaming of what you two are getting up to and such like. And then when you do meet this person in real life, not in a daydream, things are never quite how you imagined it to be. You see, this is how imagination plays on us. And there's a difference between imagination of imagining, oh, I wish I was with that person, what an ideal life it would be, and visualization, and using visualization to work on yourself and to improve yourself. Maybe I should do a different show on that kind of thing. You know, visualizing where you want to be in life, visualizing when you're going on meditational paths or whatever, visualizing perhaps encountering the gods or the angels or whatever it is you want to encounter. That's different from the imagination that deceives us, that takes us away from truth. So I'm going to just carry on with some Steiner. But it is always one truth which speaks there. And he now quotes Goethe. If I know my relationship to myself and to the outer world, then I call it truth. And in this way, each person can have his own truth. And it is, after all, always the same one. End of quote. Steiner continues. The truth is not some petrified dead system of concepts capable of assuming only one form. It is a living sea, within which the spirit of man lives, and which can show on its surface waves of the most varied form. And he goes on to say later, to know the truth means for him to live in the truth. He's actually talking about Goethe, but I mean, I would say that applies to all of us. To know the truth means that we live in our own inner truth, that we're being true to ourselves. And as I was saying earlier, right truth brings right vibrations. Deceit, imagination lowers vibration, and imagination, when you're daydreaming about being with a certain someone, or daydreaming about whatever it is you daydream about. Maybe you daydream about being James Bond. Maybe you daydream about being the villain that James Bond's coming up against. I'm not sure. You know, it's your own private thing. You daydream about what you want. But it's been able to decipher the difference between imagination and daydreaming and truth, and what is inner truth. And I also find that when you're dealing with inner truth and working on yourself, you begin to see truth outside, and you see truth in the reality of your life rather than the programmed life that we're all caught up in. We're trying to be more real, as Gurdjieff says, life is real only then when I am. And a real important way of being real is to live in truth. So stay true to each other, stay true to life, stay true to yourself. Find truth, be true, find the inner truth inside you. Adios.